その日、世界中の人間はすべて石になった。
Be the jack of all trades like Senku, how to become an elite learner.
That sounds ridiculously weird.
4、5、6、7、8
From staying conscious for 3,700 years to making the depetrification elixir, Senku is the true jack of all trades. And I am 10 billion% sure that he's one of the smartest anime characters, if not the smartest. Senku's feats in Dr. Stone have convinced fans that he has an extremely high IQ. But is that the reality? Is it his high IQ? Or is there some technique involved behind all of this? Maybe a learning process that you and I can replicate to achieve feats like his? I'm not saying that we will be soon facing an apocalypse and you have to get ready for that. Sure, it will be handy though if the situation arises. But until then, think of all sorts of achievements you can have when you unlock your powers to learn fast and efficiently. You'll become an elite learner. You'll be able to score more than the topper, minus all the all-nighters and all the sacrifices. You'll finally be able to master the guitar that's been collecting dust for the past 3 years in the corner of your room that you bought at the end of your first year to impress your crush. Learn the languages at ease which you grew fond of after watching one of your favorite Netflix series.
Do you even speak Latin?
Felecia sunt rerum species.
Which means, wait, what? What'd you just say?
A 5-star dish cooking chef, or even become an internationally known writer? Nothing will seem impossible to you now to achieve, and everyone around you will be just left wondering how you do it all and have it all. You will be the person who can party all night and somehow still manages to bag a 4-point grade the next day in the exam. Or perhaps you just realize that you have to learn high-paying skills ASAP to outsmart the competition so you won't be replaced by robots in the future. And you need to do it right now.
Relying on manpower. And hello to the age of energy.
Throughout the series, fans have been wowed by Senku at every stage. Be it the time he made the cure-all or an actual communication device, all of his feats do make us wonder, how smart is this man? Can he be compared to geniuses such as Shikamaru and Light Yagami? Well, if you want me to make a video on that as well, let me know in the comment section. The one thing we can all agree on is that learning is hard. But what sets apart the learning experience of those who are able to learn anything in just 6 months from those whose journeys have dragged on for years? The answer may come down to the method of learning they used. And today, I have just the key to the matrix for you guys. But before we explore the techniques behind becoming an elite learner, or in other words, jack of all trades like Senku, and go to the depths of this whole learn anything you want in less time concept, let's analyze what makes Senku so different and unique from any other character in the whole anime-verse. His uniqueness revolves more around science than any superhuman abilities. He has actually made science fun. Well, never thought this day would come.
Heat of 1.3 kilojoules, density of 900 kilograms per cubic meter, and an ignition point of 300 degrees Celsius. 60 seconds.
Unlike others, Dr. Stone's protagonist, Senku, does not focus on power, but is all about science, education, and slowly building towards a goal, rebuilding civilization and re-establishing the kingdom of science.
199万8700年の文明を一気にワープするわけだ。
Senku can be considered a walking encyclopedia as there is nothing that he doesn't know about. With in-depth knowledge of chemistry, physics, engineering,
お前ゼロからこれを
geology, biology, and mathematics, he can easily create tools, medicine, and even the depetrification elixir, all in an age where nothing is available easily. Do you want sulfur? Go mine it. Want new test tubes? Go make them. Nothing is available so easily. In addition to having near unlimited knowledge, Senku also possesses an analytical mind. For every goal, he has a variety of paths to accomplish it. A strategy, which I will explore in depth in future videos. Senku's IQ is realistically assumed to be above 200, and somewhere around 220s. Taking his feats to Dr. Stone into account, Senku outsmarts most characters and might have the highest IQ in the whole animeverse. Many fans have even found a likeness between Nikola Tesla and Senku, as they both have very similar eidetic memory capabilities. They are known to do complex mathematics and very hard to estimate IQs. So coming back to the question, is it even possible to reach this level of IQ? And attain knowledge that no one ever even wondered of? Well, the answer to that question is yes. Yeah, you heard that right. It is possible to become as smart as Senku as long as one has the mental capacity, patience, and interest to digest enormous amounts of information and the skill to apply them. It might seem a bit fantasized or unimaginable, isn't it? But you can achieve it surely. Scott Young, famous for finishing the entire 4-year MIT curriculum for computer science in just 1 year without going to school, coined this framework called Ultra Learning. Using the same framework, Benny Lewis got fluent in German in 3 months. Roger Craig set several winning records in Jeopardy. Nigel Richards became the French Scrabble world champion without ever speaking the language. And you can do it too. Today, I will be sharing with you guys the exact framework Senku deploys to supercharge his learning process and be the last hope for humanity on Earth. In his book Ultra Learning, Scott Young explains all the 9 principles you need to follow to learn anything in this world, right from an academic subject to any skill you want to master in the shortest span of time. Today, I'll be explaining the first 4 in details in this video. Watch out for the next part, it will be out soon.
Long time no see. Mecha Senku at your service. Here to take you on a tour of the kingdom of science.
The number 1 principle, meta-learning. We must consider the process of learning a skill as a project. We must first devise the exact plan with the deadline to learn that skill before even starting with the studies. This is shown in Dr. Stone in a really innovative way. When he wanted to build something, Senku created a mind map and wrote down everything he required to attain the desired outcome. When he wanted to make the medicine, he developed a detailed mind map, explaining every step carefully before even starting the procedure.
There are 2 routes to making antibiotics. The biological route, creating penicillin from living things, or the stone route, creating sulfa drugs from rocks. Look at each item one by one. And though it seemed 2 million years of scientific progress, this is the scientific roadmap. And if we follow it, we'll reach our cure.
Which I've been also following from the past few months, and trust me guys, it will make you immensely productive. I used this method even when I was writing the script. I planned it all using a flowchart and dividing every principle right to its basics so that it will become way easier for you guys to follow. Meta-learning is the stage where we devise a map of how we will approach this project. Before diving into a subject, we must clarify some questions. Why am I learning this? What will I need to know? How will I approach this subject? What books and courses do I need to follow to gain mastery over this project? The best way is to contact someone who is already a master of the subject and seek help.
What happened when you noticed you were naturally better than everybody?
I got interested in the game.
That is an IQ breakpoint, brother. Right there.
The number 2 is focus. Perhaps the most difficult thing faced by human beings is long concentrated thinking. Those words were written in 1925 by Hugo Gernsback, a prolific inventor and a science fiction pioneer. Distraction lurked everywhere he looked. A door slamming somewhere, cell phones ringing, street noises filtering through the window or a doorbell. So he invented the isolator, a wooden helmet that eliminated 95% of the noise from the outside world. With 2 frames of glasses and an oxygen pipe in case, he suffocates and dies, which was an imperfect solution to a very real problem. How to focus in the busy modern world. 100 years later, the problem has only gotten worse. Noise-canceling headphones are the new isolation helmets. Digital trackers, blockers, and an entire industry of productivity gurus are all trying to find a solution. But for brevity's sake, let's skip this part for another video. If I only had an hour to chop down a tree, I would spend the first 45 minutes sharpening my axe. Abraham Lincoln. Since Senku never appears to be distracted in any scenario, even when Tsukasa sends a spy to monitor everything he does, he never got sidetracked, and after finishing his task, he even gave her cotton candy. Guys, after you have the plan and gathered all the learning sources you need to, sharpen your axe. Your process will suffer immensely if you keep getting interrupted by things in our environment, like phones and TV, other people, and the most distracting of all, our mind. Cultivate the ability to concentrate, learn to deal with distractions. The cheat sheet I use for myself is: number 1, starting. Tell yourself, I will do it for 5 minutes, and then also if I don't want to do it, I'll move on to do something else. That's often enough to get you going. Then you can move to the Pomodoro technique, 20 minutes of focus and 5 minutes break. Number 2, sustaining, aka not getting distracted. Don't worry that you have to learn for long stretches of time. Learn to focus as much as possible, even when you have little time on your hands. Number 3, optimizing your environment. Complex tasks may benefit from low arousal, such as no noise whatsoever, but simpler tasks may benefit from a place like a workshop. But ultimately, you need to test it for yourself. We will learn about it in more detail in our next video, so make sure to subscribe and keep your notifications on so you don't miss it. Number 3 is directness. To be honest, learning by doing is the most critical phase. And if you only focus on the theoretical information, you will experience minimal to no improvement in the area you wish to advance. And Senku accomplished it so brilliantly that it may be the most effective phase in the entire mastering process.
I'm going to space.
So an astronaut then? That's an excellent dream, young man. Work hard and when you grow up, you...
No, I'm going there as soon as possible.
Even in his childhood, from learning theory to building his first rocket blueprint and building an almost successful rocket, he gained a lot of expertise right from his younger age.
Why in the heck do you keep following me, Moon? What gives?
Outside theory, study the applicability of what you're learning. Too often, we are procrastinating by watching videos or reading books on the subject. Learning to code? Build a website. Learning a language? Speak to the natives. Learning to write? Commit to writing at least 3 pages first thing in the morning. Number 4 is drill. Attack your weakest points. Most processes have bottlenecks. What is your weakness? Practice that part of the song 10 times.
When people say artists are born with talent, you're not. You have to really learn and really practice. This is me playing guitar and singing. Oh. And then.
Repeat the formulas before going to sleep. Shoot 100 more free throws after the training. Take time to study that specific skill and try again. Do you believe that without working on your weak points and improving those, as well as your attitude towards dire situation, will lead you to the road to success and help you become the best version of yourself? Then, as Senku says, you are 10 billion% wrong. You can see the hard work Senku put in bettering himself, constantly working on his weak points and never letting those things get in the way of his goal. That's the mentality we must focus on, guys. As I mentioned earlier, I'm so sorry guys, but the length of the video is getting a bit longer than I expected. So instead of covering the rest of the strategy in a rush, I will be making a follow-up video where I explain the rest of the points in detail. And also stay tuned for the breakdown of another amazing book, which will 10x your learning process. If you like this video and want me to continue this series, show me some support by subscribing and liking the video, which also helps our video to push through the algorithm and reach a more interested audience as well. Also, let me know in the comments section which is your favorite anime character and want me to break down further. You can follow us on social media at Rising Curiosity by clicking the link in the description to get more updates. Until next time, sayonara.
Because you won't lose this fight. You'll rebuild from scratch if you have to and save all of humanity. Right, Senku? I know that you can do it.